Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be pitching my M3 competition rear wheel drive against this M3 competition xDrive. I know we've already done a comparison video on both of the cars on the road and talked about their similarities and their differences, but today is really going to be about straight line pace, off the line, acceleration. I had a little bit of spare time earlier on the runway and I had my M3 with us, so I thought, you know what, why not put both cars against each other? My good friend Andy was here, he jumped in the xDrive, I jumped in mine, and we had a bit of a tussle down the runway. Just a quick recap for any of you that are watching these two cars being compared for the first time. Well, they both have the same engine, an S58, which is a 3-litre inline-6 twin turbo. They both produce 510 horsepower and they both produce 650 newton meters of torque. They both run the ZF 8-speed automatic gearbox, but all of the power and torque goes to the rear axle via an M differential on this car, and all of the power and torque goes through all four wheels on this car using the M xDrive system. I say all four wheels, I'll have that in four-wheel drive sport with all the traction turned off, so it will send the majority of power and torque to the rear axle, but it will call upon the front axle when it needs it, and it will need it because it's about 4 degrees today. The tyres won't have much temperature in them, so it will struggle for grip off the line in first gear. This car launches in second gear. Let's not waste any more time, let's jump in the cars and I will join you on the runway. Right, here we go. My BMW M3 competition rear wheel drive versus Andy in the M3 competition xDrive. We all know what's going to happen, but hey, why not? We have the runway for the next 10 minutes. Let's line them up and see what happens. Andy, how are you going? Are you ready to go?
Yeah, let's give it a go.
Okay, gonna count you down from 3, 2, 1. Go! And it's gone!
See you later!
This launches in second gear, the xDrive in first. Now I'm actually clawing him back, I can actually feel it. And there we go, onto the brakes. On the way back, I think we'll do a third gear pull from 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, keep pulling, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to count us down again. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, I think he jumped me a little bit there. Jumped me a little bit on that roller. We'll go back and do another traditional drag race because I've got a little bit more heat in these PS4Ss now, and I think you might have to let me have a little jump, or maybe I will just do a little jump, but you go on the normal commands. Let's see what happens if I have a tiny bit of a jump. So we'll just line up. Okay, here we go. So let's get launch control going. And that's 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so he got a bit of a jump. Let's see if we can reel him back in. There we go, the advantage is gone now at 110, 120. 130. Oh! Brake. Let's try again, third gear at 30 miles an hour. And go on go this time, Andy, no cheating. Let's get up to 30 miles an hour. Okay, and 3, 2, 1, go.
revved on that gear change, which is I think when you just pulled slightly in front of us.
Ah, that makes sense. Well, we can do another drag race just for science because we haven't been kicked off the runway yet. So let's do another drag race, and then on the way back we'll test the brakes as well when we hit that line at, I don't know, 70, 80 miles an hour. So let's line up to do one more, and this time again I will cheekily jump you a little bit.
Yeah, no worries.
We're counting you in, so 3,
2, 1, go.
Wow, this thing's fast.
It's just not fast enough. And on the brakes.
This thing is fast. That was awesome.
Fourth gear, 30 miles an hour. 3,
2, 1, go.
just seems faster. Right, slow the pace down a bit. Let's cross the line at 70 miles an hour. And as soon as we hit that white line, we're gonna emergency brake. And oh! I think that was pretty fair and square. We went across the line at about 65, and I think you've stopped about 3-4 foot quicker than I have. So that's what your £8,000 buys you.
Yeah, I'm kind of in line with your rear wheel, so it's not an awful lot, is it?
That was really interesting. There wasn't much on it, as you'd expect. Once we're off the line, once we're rolling above, let's say 60, 70 miles an hour. But off the line, the xDrive's just mighty. It really is. I was actually impressed with the way this launched. It launches in second, and it does bog down a bit in second. Once you've got heat in the tyres, you feel that it could launch in first gear and you could short shift yourself, a bit like the xDrive does. But regardless, that was really impressive. That car is just so fast. And yes, maybe above 110, 115 miles an hour, there was a smaller difference. And yes, on some of the runs, I felt like this car was gaining slightly on that above those sort of speeds. But you know, they're not real life speeds, are they? Even on track days, you very rarely go above 120, 130 miles an hour. So I guess the conclusion is the M3 xDrive is just an absolute rocket ship, whether it's off the line or on the move. Or even from a roller, that seemed to be slightly quicker. It seemed to pick up a little bit better. Yes, it is a bit newer, and my car does have a full tank of fuel and me in it, whereas that has about a quarter of a tank of fuel, and Andy's about 25 kilos lighter than I am. So I guess you can factor those two in. But either way, what a car. Massive thanks to Andy. And massive thanks to Juan and James over there with the X3M competition. Hopefully you've seen that video where we pitched, in fact, those two cars that are on shot now. We pitched those two cars together, yeah, and used a little bit of science in there to make it a bit more interesting. Guys, thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was all very last minute, but we thought, why not put them together? I had my car here. It would be rude if we didn't. So cheers for watching, and I'll see you at the next video very, very soon.